Welcome to this brief overview for what may change the lip balm industry forever. You can stop this video at any time if you wish and just start clicking on either one of the tabs to learn about these two amazing new patents that will undoubtedly change the landscape forever for lip balm industry and safety. This is where a Goliath could become a bigger Goliath, or a David could become a Goliath. Hello, I'm Tom Rossi, creator of this license opportunity, which is a brand new U.S. patent with 17 allowed claims, plus international protection. Like millions of my fellow Americans, I'm a baby boomer. Now, having gotten this far, I want to continue to enjoy life and enjoy the ride. You know, there's the old saying, everybody wants to get to heaven, but nobody's in a hurry to get there. So I eat right, I exercise, I do regular medical checkups, I follow my doctor's advice, and I work at keeping a healthy lifestyle whenever possible, and I wear my seatbelt. But you know, one day, I was impacted by something I'd heard 1,000 times before on the radio, but I hadn't paid attention to it. It was something so simple, yet so astounding, it finally caught my attention. That said, 2 aspirin taken at the first sign of a heart attack can save your life. Think of it, 2 aspirin at the first sign of a heart attack can save your life. So I put 2 aspirin in a little plastic bag, tucked it in my pocket. It was a great start. But you know what? In and out of my pocket with my hand, they'd fall out. I wouldn't see that they fell out, they were gone. Or they went through the laundry, never to be seen again. Next, I thought, let's try this. $4 or $5, this little capsule here. Okay, we'll give this a shot. Problem is, it adds a great deal of bulk. And there's another couple of things. Anybody who ever has to valet a car, as I knew when I was a kid, I was a valet, I know what happens. First, as soon as you're out of sight, the car goes on a little test drive. And second, that nosy valet gets bored. And pretty soon he's gonna open this up, fumble with it. He wants to see what's inside. Contents fall on the ground. He picks them up with his dirty fingers he's been handling paper money with from the tips. Not pretty. So, the third thing is, I don't always take my keys with me, jogging or whatever. So that didn't work out so well. So finally what I said was, the light went on for me. What is something I carry every day, all the time anyway? And I believe many, many, many more people would once they knew, in addition, that they would have not only moisture protection for their lips, which is important, but UV protection to provide good safety and protection against skin cancer. So guarding against skin cancer is important. Guarding against a heart attack is really important. It's easy, convenient, low cost. And here's the game changer. It's real simple. You take your regular lip balm, you take that off, there goes the cap, and through the miracle of a 3D printer and a CAD drawing, we have Incredicap. It snaps on, it can screw on, and with this one, this is much larger than the normal one that we would use. But I wanted to demonstrate that with this one, in this case, you can use a flip top, snap top, or here a screw top, and I want you to see that that's the kind of capacity you can get in the larger model if you want, or you can do it in the smaller models. And also, this can be added on to very easily with additional features that I'm going to talk to you about next. So let's talk about those now. So Incredicap, with 17 allowed claims, gives us a great variety of things that we can do with this particular patent. We start out with just the basic, which is much shorter because it would only need to contain 2 aspirin. And that would be this model right here. But now it could be tinker-toyed, added on to, again, snap, screw, flip, whatever you want to do, you can expand it. The next thing that can also have, and is part of the patent, one of the claims, is there's a light, a flashlight on it. So if you're in a restaurant and you need to be able to read the menu, or you're trying to search for footing when you're walking around in the dark, or looking for that keyhole for your car or front door, a flashlight would be a nice thing to have, very convenient to have at your fingertips. In addition, let's suppose you have fear of being attacked by an assailant, or you are stumbling or feeling like you're going to be faint and you're going to fall. You can hold this for 5 seconds in a position to where it will activate that light to become a strobe light and a shrill alarm to either scare assailants away or draw attention to people that could come and help you. There are other features as well. For example, one time my wife was stuck in our car where the car, for some reason, the alarm system decided she was trying to steal her own car. It locked everything down. She couldn't get out on a very hot day. She couldn't get anybody's attention. The horn wouldn't work and so forth. If she'd had this device, which has a little glass breaker on the end of it underneath the lens of the light, she could have simply broken that side window and allowed air to come in and save her life. She could also then kick the rest of the glass out once it's broken initially. Also, in the event there's a power failure in the car, batteries go dead, you drive into a culvert with water, nothing electrical in the car is going to work anymore, including the electric windows. Again, a great means of escape. There's a number of other great features that you'll read about in the prospectus that is attached to this in this website. And now I'd like to direct your attention to this QR code right here. That QR code right there serves a number of very, very interesting functions. Let me show you what I mean. This is the Vital Data Assistant. Vital Data Assistant. Here's what happens. And so now, you've been rendered unconscious for whatever reason. Maybe you've had a stroke, maybe you stumbled and fell and knocked yourself out, maybe you've been mugged and you've been incapacitated in some fashion. Your cell phone will likely be gone, your wallet's going to be gone, you may have no other form of ID as far as a third party would know by just going through your pockets quickly for those valuable things they're looking for. However, with Incredicap, you're going to have on it this QR that we just talked about. Now this QR would be scanned by a smartphone by any first responder. If the purchaser had followed the instructions on the package and subscribed to the service, they would then be able to fill out online or by telephone a questionnaire giving the service as much information as they choose to authorize them in advance to share with third parties. For example, they could give their personal identification information, they could give medical information, emergency contact, and so forth. So what would happen is an EMT would scan it, it would go directly to the service. The service would then be able to ID by this pre-assigned code from the factory who that belonged to. They would also vet the EMT or first responder to know that they had a legitimate purpose for contacting them with that information. Knowing that, they can already start going to work to save your life. While you're still on the ground, they probably haven't even started to stabilize you yet. They haven't put you on a gurney yet, perhaps. But now, the service has already sent this on to the hospital, emergency room, trauma center, or wherever it might be, for the purpose of saving your life. So while you're being loaded into the ambulance now, the emergency people at the hospital can immediately start formulating their plan for a treatment, at least anticipating in advance allergies, medications needed, other physical conditions and so forth that are going to be awfully important for them to have. Many, many minutes could be saved here and many, many lives can be saved. Vital Data Assistant, very important consideration. So as one goes through a checkout stand and looks at all of the other lip balms and they see they're all looking the same except one's vanilla, one's strawberry, and that's about the only differences there are to speak of, difference in SPF maybe. All of a sudden, we have a game changer. The two game changers are the Incredicap and also the Vital Data Assistant QR, which can be made available. One more thing, this same device here can be sold in a couple of different ways. It can be made to retrofit onto your existing lip balm, or you could then have it come from the factory, of course, the producer of the lip balm. But the other important feature is they could also be produced and sold in packages of 1 to any number, all with their same code number on there. Purchaser buys the package, subscribes to the service. Now he can put one on his telephone, he can put one on his computer, he can put one on his back of his wristwatch, a pendant. They can even be made into a bling by having a raised model that would be some costume jewelry. So now what happens is, even if you're not injured, but you've lost your phone, somebody finds your phone, scans that information, the service could contact you, you could be reunited with your expensive phone. Folks, there's many reasons why I'd like you to take a look at this and consider this particular two license opportunities. Thanks very much for listening.